Hello everyone, this is Dr. Pooja Sharma from the Department of Management at the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Today we'll be understanding a very important topic, written communication and business letter writing, from the Unit 4 of the subject Business Organization and Communication. This module will be helpful to the students of BCom, BBA as well as PG courses. So let us take a quick look at the module and the learning objectives of today. The learning objectives will start with meaning of written business communication, the advantages, limitations of written business communication, the meaning of business letter writing, the functions of a business letter, kinds of business letters, essentials of effective business letter, structure and layout of a business letter. So we commence with written business communication. Now what do you mean by it? When the messages are conveyed in written form, it is referred to as written business communication. Refers to those decisions, policies, statements, rules, procedures, orders, etc. which are expressed in paper form. Written communication tools for employees in business organizations include payroll envelopes, notice books, letters to new employees, special reports, notice boards, internal circulars, annual reports, memorandums, and this list is endless. So what are the advantages of written communication? It creates a permanent record, allows you to store information for future reference, easily distributed among the employees. All recipients receive the same information. Written communication helps in laying down apparent principles, policies and rules for running of an organization. It is a permanent means of communication, thus it is very useful where record maintenance is required. Now what are the disadvantages on the other side of the coin? The disadvantages of written communication in business are, it's very time consuming, it's expensive, delays feedback, lack of flexibility, lack of secrecy, lack of personal intimacy, and again it goes on. Now what are the limitations of written business communication? It builds up unmanageable clutter of files and papers. It's time consuming as well as a costly affair. It incurs a lot of expenditure. Immediate feedback is not possible. Immediate clarification, interjection is not possible in written communication as it is in oral communication. There is no secrecy. It can be read anytime by anyone. So these were the advantages, disadvantages and limitations of written communication. Now we proceed to business letter writing. Now first we start with meaning of business letter writing. Businessmen have to do a lot of correspondence with customers, creditors, debtors, civil authorities as well as with public at large. The aim is to send and receive information to conclude business transactions. The written communication is called correspondence. Commercial correspondence. This means correspondence by business people regarding commercial transactions. In the modern day, this world of technological advancement, there are modern ways of communication like emails, yet the importance of letters remain as it is the cheapest and the best way of communication. So what is the need of business letter? Letters are the most common forms of business communication. Letters enable a business house to remain in touch with its customers, employees, suppliers, investors, credit agencies, and other relevant groups. According to Gottside, there are 4 main reasons for writing business letters. Number 1, to provide a convenient means of communication without personal contact. Number 2, to give or seek information. Number 3, to furnish evidence of transactions entered into. Number 4, to provide a record for future reference. Next we go on to what are the functions of a business letter. There are various functions. The number 1, widens contracts. It is very expensive and time consuming for a business concern to send its representatives to each and every place. And who does this job? A business letter. Number 2, sharing information. For example, business houses send circular letters to share information. Number 3, evidence of contracts. Business letters act as a valid evidence and conclusive proof of business transaction or contracts between two parties. Number 4, record and reference. Business letters function as a permanent record of dealing with customers, suppliers, and other relevant parties. Number 5, it builds a goodwill and good image of the business. And the last but not the least, it creates a lasting impression on its stakeholders. So now we start with the kinds of business letters. Number 1, they are called circulars. When the same letter is sent to a large number of persons, it is called circular. Number 2, there are letters. Letters are addressed to specific persons or parties on some specific subject. These are called as individual letters. Number 3 are type of form letters. These are standard replies to commonly asked inquiries. The customers keep on asking about price list. There can be standard price lists which we can send to the customers. These are called as form letters. Number 4 are business reply cards. A business reply card is a simple postcard that the prospect can return in the mail without adding any postage. I've given you samples of these, whether it was a circular or it was a form letter or a business reply mail. You can have a look at this and you'll be able to differentiate the difference among the 4. Now a quick look at something very important question, essentials of an effective business letter. What are the things that we need to include in a business letter to make it effective? Number 1, directness and brevity. Using minimum number of words and transmitting maximum information. That means clear and concise in your ideas. Number 2, courtesy and regard. Courtesy will create goodwill and it will produce favorable responses. Number 3, individualistic approach. You're writing an individual letter to a person. Number 4 is clarity and precision. Be very clear, be very precise. Avoid verbosity. Being verbose is using words unnecessary. This verbosity should be avoided in business letters. Number 6, be positive. Letters carry image of one organization to the other. 7, evoking dialogue. Letters should be written in such a manner that it seems as if you are talking to the other person, whether the person is your credit agency or the person is your customer. Next is completeness. Keywords should be proper. Your objective of writing should be with sufficient facts and information. Sincerity. A business letter should be free from hypocrisy. The matter should be stated genuinely and earnestly, according to the reader's needs. The letter should try to fulfill the needs of the reader, otherwise your message is useless. So, all these were the ways or manner how we can make our business letter in today's scenario very effective. Now, let us take a quick look again at the structure and layout of a business letter. You have been writing letters since maybe your class 5 and you have been writing it every year till your class 12. But here we are going to write a business letter and we need to understand clearly what are the structure, what is the layout. To give a letter the right appearance, it becomes necessary that its structure, layout, and form should be well designed. Structure of business letter contains the following: heading, date, reference, inside address, salutation, subject, body of the letter, compliments, signature, identification marks, enclosures, copies distribution, postscript. Herein I have attached two samples of the structure and layout of a business letter. I hope that you all students can go through this particular samples and try to understand where to fit in what. And I'm sure it's not very difficult. So we have covered written communication, meaning, advantages and disadvantages, business letters, the needs, functions, importance, and how to write an effective business letter. And we also saw two samples and we understood the structure and layout of an effective business letter. Now we continue and focus on the kinds of business letters in detail. The first type is inquiry letters. Whenever a businessman wants to purchase goods, he will make inquiries from many sources. Such letters are called as letters of inquiry. Trade inquiries are made from known suppliers. There are trade directories also which contain names of traders and suppliers dealing in different kinds of goods. The inquiry letter is useful when you need information, advice or directions. The buyer has to give detailed description in terms of its price, range, color, quality or the purpose for which he is wanting them. It is essential that the buyer should properly identify his needs and be specific. Points to be borne in mind making trade inquiries. Number 1. Give full details of goods to be purchased. Request for sample. Description of the special objects of purchase. Request for price and terms of sale. So here there is a sample of trade inquiry letter which you can see and try to understand how the trade inquiry letter is written. Number 2 is business references. When the seller is selling goods to a new customer on credit, he needs to be sure that he'll get his payment in time. In such a case, the sellers can get this information from trade references supplied by the buyer, the buyer's banker, trade associations, credit inquiry agencies, letters of trade references. Now, when the goods are demanded on credit, the seller would like to inquire about the financial position and goodwill of the buyer. The seller would ask the buyer to give two names from whom he may inquire about the financial position and the goodwill about that firm. Thus, a letter is called the letter of trade inquiry. And there is a sample which I have attached for your reference. Next kind of business letter is letters of complaint. Now, usually complaint letters are written when the ordered goods are received late, wrong goods are received, defective goods are received, right quantity of goods is not received, wrong calculations are there in the invoice. The supplier should take complaints seriously. It is better to receive a complaint rather than have dissatisfied customers. Reply to a complaint may suggest ways to improve a product or a service. Here you can take a look at the complaint letter which is attached herewith, where we can see that how the details are given because the product was not supplied in right quantity. The next very important kind of business letter is called dunning letters. These are also called letters requesting payment. As we know that most of the business transactions are done on the basis of credit. If any person or trader does not make the payment of the price at the appointed time or within that particular period fixed for the payment of the price for the goods, then the letters written to him are called dunning letters, which are written with an object of realizing balance of payment or outstanding payments. Now, what are the precautions to be taken while writing dunning letters? Special care is needed while writing a dunning letter. the following points are generally kept in mind. Number 1. While writing the first dunning letter as a proof of outstanding amount, a copy of the statement of account should be attached with it. If the payment is not received from the customer even after the receipt of the first dunning letter, a reminder should be sent with another copy of statement of account requesting him to make prompt payment. If still there is no response from the customer, a third letter will be written, but in harsh language, demanding them to make the payment on urgent basis. If the third letter is also left unheeded, then the last dunning letter should be written. In this letter, a threatening is given to the customer to take legal action if the payment is not made up to a certain date. These letters should be never written on a postcard. These should be sent in inland cards or envelopes. Dunning letters should be sent either under postal certificate or by registered post. On dunning letters, word person in inverted comma should be written. Also, the letter should not in any way hurt the prestige of the customer. I hope you've understood dunning letters, as these are very important, and what are the precautions we need to take while writing dunning letters. We move to the next one, but before that, let us see that I've enclosed the first dunning letter, the second dunning letter, as well as the third one, which includes a legal notice to the customer. So do have a look at these samples. So the next one is sales letters. What do you mean by it? Sales letters are a part of publicity and advertisement campaign. They perform salesman function of educating and persuading the customer. Before writing a sales letter, one should identify the reader, their interests, the needs, and also have a complete knowledge about the products and the services. The purpose of every sales letter is to convert the reader into the customer. So let us understand the objective of sales letter. Number 1, to promote the sale of a product or a service or an idea. Number 2, to introduce new goods in the market more effectively, quickly, at a lower cost, and in a wider area. Number 3, to educate the customers in selecting the right type of goods and also in better understanding of the products and services. Number 4, to widen the market for existing products without any additional cost. Number 5, to maintain a continuous contact with the customer. Let me give you a few hints for drafting a sales letter. It should be drafted in such a manner that it arouses readers' curiosity to read more. The product, its features and uses must be well explained. The letter must focus on the durability, economy, etc. of the product. Support the letter with testimonials, references for evidence. Close the letter by telling the reader what he should do next in a way to prepone the sales action. So here is a sample for you of sales letter so that you understand how Himachal Steel Furniture House has tried to show or showcase, you can say, their products to the particular customer. The next kind is circular letters. Circular letters are issued when the same information is given to a large number of persons. Such circulars are used for sales campaign, change of address, extension of business, etc. One needs to use catchy words, sentences, different colors, etc. in circular letters to attract the readers. Situations that need circular letters: opening of a new branch office, a shop, or a regional office, change in address of the business premises, reduction or increase in selling price, seasonal discounts, introducing a new product or service. Following points need to be considered in drafting circular letter. It should be appealing, brief, attractive to look at. Circular should always use you approach. It should capture the interest of the reader by using friendly language. Print the letter on a quality paper or letterhead. Be precise but informative. Thank the reader for trust and cooperation. Now look at this sample of circular letter which is written for your reference. We've covered so far the kinds of business letters in quite a bit of details. I hope you've got the insights into it. Now looking from your examination point of view, let me show you what kind of questions that you can get, whether long type, whether short type, for this particular topic. What do you mean by written communication? What are its advantages and disadvantages? It can be a long type question. Discuss different desirable parts of a business letter with specimen. What are the essentials of an effective business letter? A short question. What is the need of a business letter in a modern age? That can be again a short question for you. What do you mean by complaint letter? Which points do we need to keep in mind while writing such a letter? Very important question. What is meant by dunning letters? What precautions you bear in mind when writing a dunning letter is a very important long type question. What is a business letter? Discuss its importance. Again a short type question. What's a reference letter? Briefly explain. And many more such long, short and MCQs from this important topic of the subject business organization and communication. I've also given you certain suggested readings which you can download books from the internet, or you can even, there are many reviews on internet. You can Google the reviews, book reviews of these particular books and gain more insights in this particular topic. So we'll meet next time in our next module on business organization and communication. Till then, thank you.